Dragon Age Veilguard. Not only is it one of the most woke, disgusting, over-sexualized games that we have seen in the past decade, but it also has sparked something that I can only describe as the YouTube shill civil war, led by none other than Fextralife themselves.
In this Dragon Age The Veilguard review, we're going to be talking about why we're actually not doing a review for The Veilguard today, why this should matter to you, and why it's important.
Spoiler, it doesn't matter at all.
We don't normally make videos like this on the Fextralife YouTube channel. We typically stay out of drama. You'd be hard-pressed to find more than a handful of these across the entire 3,000 some odd videos we've ever made. But what I want to talk about today is going to impact the way that you watch reviews today, the ones that are coming out today. And this information should not be kept from you. Before I get into that, though, just a little bit of...
So let me contextualize a little bit here. Fextralife did not receive a Dragon Age Veilguard review copy, and now they are trying to use the fact that they didn't as to elevate themselves as some kind of heroes that stand for the community and truth. While in reality, everyone pretty much should know that Fextralife is just a giant scam. They are the people that embedded their Twitch channel to push them to be the #1 streamer for a period of time, and they stole they stole what effectively was sponsorship deals that probably would have went to other people who actually deserved them, but it went to Fextralife. They effectively, now this is not technically view botting, but for the sake of simplicity, we're just going to call it view botting. They effectively view botted themselves to the #1 position on Twitch, while in reality having less than 100 views. Yeah. And honestly, they have 1 million subs, and I'm not even sure those are real, considering that Fextralife is gonna do all of the dirty things that they can to get ahead in life as much as they can. When a channel has 1 million subs, and they average 10,000 to at peak 30,000 views on a video, that is not currently the hottest thing ever, I call it sus.
A background about Fextralife's history with Dragon Age. Dragon Age Origins is one of my all-time favorite games. I get asked all the time, what are my top 5 games? And Dragon Age Origins is consistently in that list. That has never changed in the entire time since I've played that game. We also made a Dragon Age Inquisition wiki in 2014 when that game launched.
Yeah, effectively, Fextralife has a ton of wikis with very, very bad guides with wrong information in a lot of cases. And every single one of these wikis has a very, very small embed that you can't even see. And this is where they put all the embeds on all of their Wikipedia pages and everywhere they could. And that's how they got to be the biggest streamer on Twitch for a certain period of time. And then just stole sponsorship deals from actual people who would deserve them because they have a real audience. That is Fextralife in a nutshell.
So we've been covering Dragon Age for at least 10 years, maybe longer. And Fex also managed to rescue the Dragon Age forums when BioWare was bought by EA because they were shutting down those forums. We got permission from BioWare.
Wow, what heroes, what pillars of society, what pillars of community.
BioWare to rescue those forums, export them, and import them onto the Fextralife forums. So you can still find those Dragon Age forums today on our site. We've been in constant communication with EA and BioWare for years about this title. We've been assured we're getting a code multiple times over the years. We've been in constant communication with them. They keep sending us stuff about the game. We've also been covering the game during that time with constant news articles. We've done several videos about the game. But most importantly, I think that our audience is the audience for this title. I think you...
Did you hear that, boys? You're special. Oh, man, better break out that I'm special shirt because you're gonna need it. You're special, said Fextralife.
You'd be hard-pressed to find a...
I'm not special. Most of us are not special. That's the reality. Better to live in the reality than delusion.
Another channel out there that's our size that is so specifically targeted to RPGs.
Many channels. By the way, again, look at this. 17k views, 24k views, 227 reviews? when this happens, by the way, I'm pretty sure, by the way, this is also Fextralife just spending that advertisement money that they stole from other people on Twitch and just boosting their viewership. I'm pretty. I do not trust these numbers at all. They have some kind of standout crazy things where their average is literally nothing. Their average is literally nothing. I can break these numbers. I can get 70k views on a really good Dragon Age video currently, okay? I could have gotten 10k views on a Dragon's Dogma video. And Fextralife with their million subscribers can't do the same? Now, that's really sus, isn't it?
That fits the profile for this game. So following all this, we were invited by EA to attend a preview event for Dragon Age: The Veilguard in September with a lot of other press and content creators. We were by no means the only ones doing this. And after attending that event, we made our impressions video from playing the game, which has close to 300,000 views on our YouTube channel right now, which I think is one of the most viewed impressions videos for that game at this time. If you watch that video, the general sentiment is that we were cautiously optimistic about the game. We praised its gameplay, character depth, but we weren't completely.
Anyone who's hearing now praised its character depth, knowing that this is an absolute, just complete sad, woke over sexualized mess of modern day bullshit, can easily understand that this is a lie.
Sold about the storytelling in the long run, although we only got to play a very little bit of time, so we weren't entirely sure. And in general, we didn't really like the character models, the design style of them, which I think a lot of people don't.
Yeah, effectively, again, Fextralife is just a shill channel. They're the same as Mr. Manny Plays, Luke Stevens, Joy Raptor, and a lot of the channels that we watch and make fun of often. Okay, Fextralife is literally no different. And this was one of the easy, cautious, optimistic, oh, this is not the greatest thing about the game. Because again, all these people try to be like, okay, I'm not going to give this a game a 10 out of 10. I'm going to give it an 8 or a 9 out of 10. This is their approach to not be called shills. Because it's extremely easy to say, oh, but I did say negative things about the game. Yes, you did. You literally said that this rock's color is off, and that's a big negative about the game. That was your negative part about the game. And this is how they try to coerce people into believing that they are actually real, that they're not paid off. Now, they're technically not paid off. We have talked about this before. But, you know, they effectively only exist to push whatever any company tells them to do, effectively.
In general, it was a pretty positive impression of the video, and I want to play for you the closing audio from that video right now so you can see what we told our audience at the end of that video. I still have issues with the game, mainly that I don't like the UI and that the dialogues didn't seem to be on par with what you could get in other story-focused games that have come out in the last decade, and that I didn't yet get a point where I felt a bomb.
Oh wow, that was actually almost a serious criticism. Admittedly, we know now everyone knows now what he's talking about, right? But they couldn't say it in those words. They needed to, again, just lay it down slightly lower so, you know, they don't risk their actual review being approved or whatever.
Bond or much interest with my companions who are integral to the story. It's funny that I have pretty much been playing these games for the story and getting through the combat, but I may actually be playing the Veilguard to enjoy the combat and get through the story to see the end. How everything works together and progresses into a full game remains to be seen, and there were several big and impactful events that I cannot discuss, but so far my opinion on this has become more positive, and I would like to urge anyone who loves CRPGs to hang in there and wait for reviews and not write the game off just yet. And just to illustrate how mild that our criticisms were of the Veilguard, after publishing our impressions video, we got called shills. Some people accused us of being paid by...
Yeah, obviously. Obviously, because when you can't call a shit, everyone knows you're lying. Everyone understands this. You're fooling no one.
By BioWare and EA to promote the game, which of course we're obviously not. I was even contacted by another content creator who had attended the event that asked me why my criticisms were worded more cautiously and asked me if I was...
I'm sorry, how stupid are you? Oh, we got accused of being shills, but clearly we aren't. Oh, then I got contacted by someone who asked why did we word our review more cautiously than typically. You can't make this up.
Concerned when I made my video that I'd be denied access to a review code. To which, of course, I replied, no, I'm not worried about getting denied access to review code. That simply doesn't happen in the gaming industry. But I was not concerned.
Hey, guys. Paid access and positive access doesn't happen in industry. Wow! Oh, thank you for clearing that up. Everyone knows that that's not true. Everyone knows. Like, how are you gonna say this? How are you gonna say this that access gaining to reviews is not a real thing based on how much you play ball with the company? How are you gonna actually unironically say this? We literally went with this through with Bethesda 2 times in the past year with Starfield. How they did not allow anyone who was even remotely critical of anything Bethesda to even touch it for reviews. How? How are you going to say this? Oh, access journalism doesn't exist. That is, you see, that's why you're called shills. That's why people know. That's why you have 1 million subs that's probably not even real and barely get the 20k views on a video that's not currently the most topical thing on the internet. I'm honestly doubting that even these 700 views that we are currently seeing here are real, honestly, at this point. I absolutely do not put it past Fextralife to try and use this situation to maybe salvage their reputation as these pillars of the community and truth for people who do not know who they are.
About this at all, I reassured him that he shouldn't be concerned about this because it's just not really a thing in the gaming industry. It's so rare that it shouldn't scare someone into not saying what they think about a game. So
Gamergate 1 and Gamergate 2 literally happened because of these things. We have a literal word for it, and it's called Gamergate. Oh, but these things don't happen. Don't worry about it.
After publishing our video, nearly immediately, our contacts at EA and Bioware stopped replying and communication went to 0. So we started inquiring as to what was happening and reaching out to other contacts in the industry in a bit wider of a circle to try and figure out what's happening. As a result, we discovered that we were essentially...
That's strange. Why would you do this thing that you don't have to do? Because access journalism is not a real thing by your own description of the world. That's very strange. Why are you worried even in the first place? Because access journalism is not a real thing. That is so strange.
Getting fake reassurances that we were getting a code to keep us happy while denying us access to the Veilguard. It wasn't too long after this that I began to be contacted by other press and content creators about whether or not we had a code, and generally speaking, I get this a lot. People tend to ask me whether I have a code or not, because we generally get codes for all the big games. I'm not trying to brag, it's just simply reality. We have a large channel.
You have a fake channel, probably. Again, I literally think they everything they faked about this channel. Fextralife is by far the 100% embodiment, excuse me, of the definition of fake it till you make it.
We almost always get a code, and another creator or press can figure out if they should have a code right now, if they're going to get one or not, by asking us this question, which is what happened here. And we started piecing together between us that some people had codes and others didn't, including ourselves. And you might have also seen Wolfheart's tweets about this topic on Twitter or X, and Luke Stevens' video about this topic as well. Both of those individuals were with us in California for the preview event, and both of them put out preview videos as well as ours. And I think between the three of us, we probably have some of the 3 most viewed videos on this topic, or at least most commented on, I would say. And if you read...
Yeah. And you dare to say even the slightest bit of negativity about this. You see, this is the end game of shilling. You're not allowed even to be this mildly negative as Fextralife or Luke Stevens. And these people, and most people would not even really call anything that they say negative. That's why they get called shills. Because the way that they say things, it's worded that it's barely even in the negative direction, okay? It's, here's the middle, okay? Here's the middle, and they are slightly 1 millimeter to the negative side. Okay? This is the end game of shilling. You're not even allowed to say that much negativity because it's bad. It's either positive, the best thing since sliced bread, or you're out. This is gonna happen at some point, by the way, in access journalism.
Read those tweets and you watch that video, you can tell clearly that they also feel some way that they were intentionally excluded by EA from review access for some unknown reason, likely because of critical comments they made in their preview video, even though most of the things they said were positive about the game, just like us. And these are just two individuals that are speaking out about this, but we do know that there are at least a handful of other content creators and press that were left out, maybe more, that share a similar sentiment, that feel like they were deliberately prevented from giving their own opinions to their own audience about this game. It is feeling like EA is deliberately trying to prevent us from telling you what we think about the game, and they want you to hear it from someone else. So
because you're gonna tell the truth.
You then have to ask yourself, why would EA do this? What is their angle?
Wait, he's actually gonna say... I was joking. I was joking, Fextralife. You're not supposed to actually now go because we tell the truth. They're gonna actually say it. They're gonna actually say that that BioWare is afraid of the truth, and we are channels that are paragons of virtue. We are the ones who pierce the veil of darkness so the light can shine through on the people who need it. Disgusting. Also extremely self-graduating.
To accomplish by doing this. After the previews came out, I think it became very apparent that most of the people who were still interested in Veilguard after watching the previews were waiting for reviews to make their final decision about whether or not to purchase the game. If you just read comments in any YouTube video about the Veilguard or look at the poll on our community page, you can see that the vast majority of people that are still interested are waiting for reviews. Looking at this, EA's marketing team probably saw this and decided that they needed to make the reviews as positive as possible, trying to exclude those that might, give the game a 7 or...
Oh no, he's doing a roundabout thing here of saying that he is the paragon of virtue.
or an 8, while also reaching out and finding press and content creators that would maybe give the game a 9 or above. Just think about this for a second. If you're on the EA end and you're trying to manipulate review scores because you want high review scores, what are you going to do? You're going to research...
I'm sorry, but didn't you say that this access type of journalism doesn't exist just now? Dude, 3 minutes ago you said that these things don't really happen in the games industry. And now it's happening.
Press and content creators and what they usually give to games score-wise to give you a general idea of how they're going to review your game. For us, we never give games 10s. 9s are extremely rare. Most games we give reviews to fall somewhere in the 7 or 8 range, while other places, you know who they are, always give 9s and 10s, and frankly, it's hard to take them seriously.
Did you catch that? Did you catch that? They just unironically tried to say, oh, we give every game a 7 or an 8.5 or something like that, because I'm assuming this is their reviews. So yeah, we give every game a 7 or an 8 or almost 9. And but the other shills, they give games 9s and 10s. We only give a solid 7 or an 8 to every game, but don't... Did you seriously try to make yourself not a shill by saying, we only give certified IGN 7s to AAA games? Bruv! There is no way you did that. There is no way you called the people who only... The IGNs, the Kotakus of the world who give games a 9 or a 10 constantly, and then say, we're so much not better than them because we give 8 to games. Oh my... That is so unbelievably sad and stupid.
Always give 9s and 10s, and frankly, it's hard to take them seriously. And this is why I made this video. Because you guys told us in no uncertain terms that you're waiting for reviews, and you're about to get a bunch of reviews that have been curated by the publisher for their likelihood of being extremely positive in an attempt to manipulate
Yeah, here at Fextralife, we're gonna be only majorly positive. Not extremely, because that's bad and shilling, but we are gonna be very positive just, so it's fair.
Your view of Dragon Age, the
That's
Veilguard.
such
They
bullshit.
want you to think there is a universal consensus that the game is amazing, thereby convincing you that you should try it, but also influencing future review scores as it's difficult to be the outlier. If you've ever done a review for a game or for something, you'll realize that if you're the only one giving a high review score when everyone else is giving it a low review score, it's difficult. Or if you're
No,
the
it's
only one
not.
giving it a low review score and
Now, this is what makes it different, okay? This is what makes it different. Either you are a shill or not. Because if you are a person that has conviction, standards, and things that you abide by in your own worldview, this should not be a problem, okay? Someone else giving something a 10 and you looking at it and being, oh, it's a piece of shit with sprinkles. That's a 1 out of 10. No, actually 2 out of 10 because it has sprinkles. That shouldn't be a hard decision for you. If you are a person that is not swayed by the wind in whichever direction it blows, this is not a hard choice for you. Okay? I have spouted very unpopular opinions, and I don't regret a single fucking one because I stand by them. And if for some reason I do change my opinion, I explain why I change my opinion in the future if a time like that ever comes, or why I change my opinion from a positive to a negative if that happens. Okay? I am not going to be swayed by someone just saying, oh, but look at IGN, they gave it a 10.
everyone else is giving it a high review score, it's a very difficult position to be in.
No, it's
So if
super
you see
easy.
a bunch of positive review scores come out today, think about all the people that are going to be playing
It's called a spine. Do you have one?
afterward and how much pressure they're going to feel to give the game slightly better score than they would have given it just to avoid maybe some undue pressure. And sometimes that doesn't even happen consciously, it's just done subconsciously. And I want to be very clear here that I don't think that the press and creators publishing their videos early are going to be lying. However,
You literally stated that 3 minutes ago. Dude, all this video is he states something and 3 minutes ago he says, but that's actually what's gonna happen.
these reviewers have been screened to maximize the chances that you're seeing positive reviews. There will probably be some exceptions, of course. I don't think everyone's going to give the game a positive review. But EA is banking that those are few and far between in an attempt to keep the aggregate score of the game high. This has only happened one other time that I'm aware of in the some 10 odd years I've been doing this, and that is with Cyberpunk 2077, which followed a similar pattern where we were constantly reassured we were getting a code for years but never got one, and suddenly reviews were out and everyone was praising the game, giving it 9s and 10s, except one journalist who dared to give it an 8 and was ripped to shreds for it. But then the fans got their hands on the game, and well, you know the rest. It wasn't what was promised, and we were forced.
Oh yeah, I know this. Yeah, but dude, it's so stupid. If everyone's giving the game a 10 and you're giving it an 8, but saying, oh yeah, it's a masterpiece, that doesn't make sense and people are going to call you out for it. Because it doesn't make sense. Hey, you agree with the opinion that literally every single other person in history has just said now, but for some reason you're giving it like an 8? Why? How does that make... Are you an idiot? Yeah, people are gonna question that. Giving it a 1 out of 10 and saying it's gonna be the most buggiest thing in existence would have probably gotten you a bunch of people mad, because fanboys are always gonna be mad about everything negative, and that's just life. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where. It's always gonna happen. Fanboys are gonna exist and they're gonna be annoying. But after the game would drop and it would be the buggiest mess in history, you would be praised as the only person who actually stood against the dark. You would be praised as the only one who saw through the lies. You would be praised as someone who actually had the spine to stand for what they believe in and not be swayed by as the blighted masses. But you didn't choose to do that, and that's pathetic. Okay? There is so much to be gained in this life from being honest when it comes to shit like this. That's the thing. There is so much to be gained. from being honest with stuff like this. And yet people don't understand it. There is more to be gained to being honest with games that are shit and whatnot than just being a lying shill.
Forced to make one of the most disappointed videos I've ever made in my gaming career. However, in the case of CD Projekt Red, they own their shit, and the game is in a much better place now, though they lost trust by what happened with that game. And in CD Projekt Red's case,
also, he's framing this whole situation as, oh, Cyberpunk 2077 came out, and when I reviewed it, I said it was bad. Bro, when you review it, everyone was calling it bad. That was not a stunning and brave opinion at that point.
they had already garnered quite a positive reputation, so they survived the backlash. However, neither BioWare or EA have shining reputations in the gaming industry, and many people think this is BioWare's last chance.
Also, this is not true. CDPR Red did not survive the backlash.
Prove they still have it. This is the worst possible start to demonstrating whether or not that is true. So what does this mean for Fextralife? Honestly, nothing has changed. I'm going to buy the game, I'm going to make our review, and I'm going to like the game or not.
So what was the point of the video?
Based on the merit of the game, same as we've always done. I'm not going to let EA's bullshit influence our review or its score. We decided to make this video after some deliberation for you, the viewer, because we couldn't in good conscience let this pass without saying something and let you be duped into thinking this title is one way when it in fact may be completely different. There are a lot of...
I wonder what was the review of Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred here, honestly. I really know, I know Fextralife did one, but I didn't see it, okay? I have been ignoring Fextralife for, honestly, like half a year now. And, yeah, I didn't see it. I wonder did they, what did they call Diablo 4 Stunning and Brave? Let me Google that. Fextralife Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred review. Let's see. Extra Life, Nahantu DLC, Vessel of Hatred, 100% review. Yep, there you go. Vessel of Hatred, 8.9. Wow, so stunning and brave. Yeah, Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred is shit. How much did they give for the story? Design, visuals, and audio. Gameplay, a 10. Jesus, did we even play the same game? Roleplay, replayability, multiplayer, reception? Reception? Oh, price point. Jesus. Story and settings, 8. Yeah, the story was a solid 0, so you know Fextralife's full of bull. Anyway, stunning and brave, Fextralife. Stunning and brave. Very cool. Bye-bye.